Hi, welcome to my complete Sunday guide. Sunday is our newest 5-star coming in the first phase of version 2.7. He has been a long anticipated character that looks to be a staple in the next meta. In this video, I'll be going through everything you need to know on how to build and play Sunday, covering his best Litecoins, Relic sets, Planar Ornaments, teams, and many more. Before we start, I'll be giving away a supply pass / welcome moon to my subscribers at 6k subs, so make sure you subscribe. To begin, what does Sunday actually do and how to play him? Sunday's kit revolves around his skill, Benison of Paper and Rights. This grants a turn to an ally and increases the damage dealt similarly to Bronya. If the ally has a summon, the damage dealt buff is further increased. And if the ally is beatified, recover a skill point too. Sunday's ultimate, Ode to Caress and Cicatrix, regenerates energy to an ally and marks the ally and the summon as the beatified, which increases their crit damage based on Sunday's crit damage and lasts for 3 of Sunday's turn. Sunday's talent, the Soaring Body, simply also makes his skill increase crit rate as well, and Sunday's technique, the Glorious Mysteries, additionally increases the damage dealt buff of his first skill cast. Moving on to his bonus traits abilities, first, Rest Days Longing, which makes his ultimate regenerate at least 40 energy if his ultimate doesn't already regenerate 40 energy by default. Second, Exalted Sweep, regenerates 25 energy for himself at the start of the battle. And lastly, Haven in Palm makes his skill additionally also dispel a debuff. Overall, Sunday has a very simple kit. He is another Harmony unit that features an action advance in their skill. However, this time, unlike Sparkle, who actually has a different role to Bronya, Sunday is in a way a direct upgrade from Bronya, as both of their skills are 100% action advance, with the addition that Sunday has better buffs and is generally more comfortable to play due to him being more skill point efficient. For how to actually play Sunday, he has 2 primary playstyles, 1 speed behind or hyper speed. If this rings a bell, then you will not be mistaken, as this is also how Bronya and Sparkle works as well. To put it simply, 1 speed behind is having 1 speed less than your main DPS, so they can have back-to-back turns. Hyper speed is running Sunday at super high speeds like 160 plus, and either running your DPS with lower speed or running your DPS with super high speed as well. For the majority of time, going for 1 speed behind is the better option, as it is easier to build and turns out to be better in most cases too, but in some cases, a super fast DPS like Boothill could warrant a hyper speed Sunday, and or running Sunday with another action advance support like Sparkle or Bronya could want him to have high speed as well. Now for how to actually build Sunday, starting with his best Litecoins. Obviously, the best in slot will be his signature Litecoin, a Grounded Ascent, which makes his skill and ultimate regenerate more energy for himself, and applies a stackable damage dealt buff to the targeted ally, while also recovering a skill point every 2 skills or ultimate. As you can probably see, this is an absolutely insane Litecoin, as it grants him a 3-turn ultimate for basically permanent ultimate uptime, and more damage buffs, while also recovering skill points too. For alternatives, the second best option is actually S3 Bronya Litecoin, as it gives enough energy regen to also enable a 3-turn ult while having a buff that he can fully use as well. But as that is not very free to play friendly, S1 Bronya Litecoin will do just fine, S5 Past and Future will be good as well, and of course, S5 Dance will naturally be a good option too. However, Call of the Moon or Dreamwheel will be okay too if you have other options. Next up for Sunday's best Relic sets and Planar Ornaments. His best in slot Relic set will be the brand new 4-piece Sacerdos Relieved Ordeal, as it both helps with his speed and makes his skill and ultimate give more crit damage, which is perfectly in line in what he wants to do. 4-piece Hackerspace will always be a decent alternative as well to support characters like Sunday. And 2-piece speed sets will be generally his best placeholder options. As for his best in slot Planar Ornaments, it will be the brand new Lashaka the Sunken Seas, as since his kit does not provide an attack buff, this will usually be the best, in addition to the extra energy regen. However, Broken Nail would be good as well, as it synergizes really well with his crit damage buff, and going for energy sets would be okay too, with Fleet being a decent option with similar reasoning to Lashaka. But with all that being said, Planar Ornaments with the extra 5% energy regen is extra worth it if you are running Bronya's light cone. At S1, it enables a 3-turn ultimate if hit once, and at S3, it enables a 3-turn ultimate unconditionally. 3-turn ultimate allows for a permanent ultimate uptime, so do keep this in mind when you're choosing your light cone and Planar Ornaments. Moving on to Sunday's best main stats and breakpoints. His best main stats will be a crit damage body, speed boots, defense/HP balls, and energy rope. Crit damage body as his skill does scale off it, speed boots as you want to be either 1 speed behind your DPS or super fast, defense/HP balls as damage bonus and attack does not provide any benefits, and lastly energy rope as you want to have his ultimate as often as possible. As for his stat breakpoints, getting 1 speed behind your DPS with at least 134 speed on Sunday. So for example, something like 139 speed on Sunday and 140 speed on the main DPS. But if you choose to go hyper speed, then we are looking at 160 plus speed. Next, going for 200 plus crit damage is ideal, but it's not a big deal if you can't reach it. However, if you are running Bronya's light cone, as mentioned before, making sure you use a Planar Ornament with energy regen is your first priority. Now for Sunday's best Eidolons. E1 makes his skill target and the summon ignore defense, which is a very insane buff. E2 recovers 2 skill points after his first ultimate and increases damage dealt by the Beatified. E3 and 5 are just trace levels. E4 generates energy at the start of his turn, which guarantees full ultimate uptime, and E6 makes his ultimate also apply his talent while making it stackable, and every crit rate above 100 becomes crit damage. Overall, he has some decent Eidolons. While it's nothing insane, just like what we saw with all other limited harmonies, E1 will be a super good option if you choose to go for it. Now for the age-old question of E1 versus S1. This time you'll be going towards S1, as it simply provides way more buffs and the energy grants permanent ultimate uptime. However, if you do have Bronya's light cone at S3, you can maybe go for E1 if you choose to. Last but not least, we get the Sunday's best teammates and teams. Starting off, I want to mention summon characters specifically as Sunday is our first unit to directly buff summons. So units like Jinyuan, Topaz, and Lingxia will be the key teammates in this case. But as you could tell, Topaz and Lingxia are not exactly main DPSs, so we already only have Jinyuan to talk about for now. Jinyuan has been a unit that has been overshadowed for a long time as his damage is just too backloaded. But now with a way to bring forward the Lightning Lord, Jinyuan may finally be a reasonable DPS. But even that doesn't mean much, as you want to stack your Lightning Lord before he attacks. So unless you do some super unique speed tuning that allows Jinyuan to stack his Lightning Lord first, then Sunday advances them forward, this is still not the most optimal pairing for Sunday. Another teammate I want to mention is Robin. The sheer amount of non-attack buffs Sunday has, or the sheer amount of only attack buffs Robin has, makes this duo one of the best pairing for supports in the game. And not only that, the action events from both characters will also have very nice synergies, and the fact that summon damage also synergizes with Robin's kit makes this truly a canon reunion of the siblings. So with all that being said, the best Sunday teams will start with Hyper Carry Jinyuan, featuring Jinyuan, Sunday, Robin, and Adventuring. Robin, of course, can be switched out for other supports like Tingyun or even Sparkle/Bronya, but that requires a bit more speed tuning, as you want to make sure Sparkle goes first, advances the DPS, and then Sunday goes and advances the DPS. And of course, other sustains can be used too, like Lingxia or Huohua. Another super strong team is Facial for the up attack team with Sunday, Robin, and Adventuring. This team always had the option of running Bronya over Topaz, but Bronya is way too skill point inefficient, so it was never really considered. But now with Sunday being a more skill point efficient Bronya, we can finally see the potential of this team. And talking about Bronya, any team that used Bronya can now use Sunday, as he is functionally the same just with more buffs. So hypercarry teams like D-Heal, Blade, Jinlu, Argentine, and even B-Heal can be used too. And of course, if you want to have a bit of fun, Ling Xiao Break Carry or Topaz Carry can be good too if they're well invested. But with all that being said, I do want to mention that these are teams as of 2.7. There will definitely be more units that feature a summon, with rumors that the Fate collab with Servants will also be summons too. So when those characters get released is when we truly see the value of Sunday. So yeah, until new summon DPSs come out, Sunday will just have to sit tight, as I'm sure he'll become one of the most meta units in the game when that time comes around. But for now, we finally have an upgrade to Bronya. Sparkle came out, but with a 50% action advance on her skill, she couldn't do the 1 speed behind playstyle correctly. But Sunday is here now and will probably outshadow Bronya. It is what I like to say, but honestly, Bronya is still pretty good, and why not run them both?